coverage of round 5 of the CLUB100 BUKC iRacing Championship. Welcome to potentially quite a few new people to one of these streams tonight. For those of you not aware, it was a bit of a mad one at the weekend down at Bookmore Park for the Bookmore Park 24 hours. And the first thing to say as we kick off tonight is thank you so much to everyone who subscribed over the weekend, both to ourselves and Alpha Live. If this is your first time watching a DDMM stream, it is not the Bookmore Park 24 hours commentary box account. We will try and keep you up to speed as much as possible as to what on earth this is. This is, as I say, the CLUB100 of the BUKC iRacing Championship. Sim racing here for you on the DDMM YouTube channel tonight. And quite a circuit as well for us to be racing at. We had the Imola Grand Prix here at the weekend, but now it's the turn of the CLUB100 BUKC iRaces in the Mazda MX-5. It returns for the first time this season, actually, so really good to have it back. And without further ado, we turn the countdown music down and put that one up. Let's introduce the other half of DDMM, because he wasn't there at Bookmore Park at the weekend. So some of you, this might be the first time you've met him. Howard Mitchell, please reveal yourself.
Hello Andrew, hello everybody, both new and returning. And yes, I will second that welcoming of anyone new to our antics here at Double Dash Motorsport Media. But yes, I have to plead forgiveness. I was not present at the weekend when everything was very entertaining down at Bookmore Park. So hello to anybody who's new to us. Very happy to have you along for the ride, and I think you've picked a good event to come in on and check us out for further action here, or check us out for some virtual action, because we are at Imola, Andrew. Historic circuit. It was fantastic to see fans back at Imola at the Grand Prix as well, because I want to say it was the first time that had happened since the mid-noughties, like 2006. Yes. So that was fantastic to see as well, steeped in history. And we're back with our MX-5s, the mainstay of this championship, or the one that's been here since the very beginning, the Mazda MX-5s, on a standard sprint format. So it sounds like it's CLUB100 iRacing Championship bread and butter stuff, but we haven't had bread and butter, you know, the standard round yet, because we've done a different type of car racing every single time. We've had oval racing, we've had touring cars, we've had single-seaters, we've had GTs. Now we are with our trusty MX-5s, and that means everyone, I think, is going to feel quite comfortable with this machinery, and it's going to be good. It's going to be some good close racing.
Kirith messages. I'm just going to say quickly, go, get a riddle on, get in the lobby now. You might be okay. Let's have a very quick look, mate, because we are already into qualifying time at the championship scores on the doors as we go into round 5.
Yep, absolutely. So it is Sam Sanders who currently leads the standings, both overall and in Class 1, 2 subclasses here in the Club 100 iRacing Championship as we enter round 5. Well, the classes are always here, but the 2 classes there, the other class, Class 2, being led by Matt Hale there in 8th place overall. But yeah, it's an interesting one, this already. I think the different formats have contributed to this, Andrew, but there's nobody really running away with this one. Here, Sam Sanders in the lead, as I say, Michael Preston and Charlie Summers following up in the top 3. But you've got various people who've been in and out of rounds. As we go further down this table, you'll see the likes of Steve Hicks coming up in this one, and let's not forget as well, Josh Ladd is in the mid-table here as well. So some very interesting names. It's not all about who's at the top right now, but fantastic to see that we've got so many people along with us already for this season. We've had 42 people competing with us, and yeah, as you can see, plenty to play for at this relatively early stage still in the season.
Yep, still all to play for. As we say, qualifying is getting underway. For those who are uninitiated, very quick rundown of how tonight will work. Qualifying, a timed qualifying session first. This will set the grid for the first race of the evening, which will be 20 minutes long. The result of race 1 will then have the top 20, and we've got about 30 odd drivers racing tonight. The top 20 are then reversed. So how that works out is that if you finish P20 in race 1, you get pole position for race 2. Race 2 will then be another 20 minutes. It will be chaos. It will be mad because you'll have drivers all of different speed levels at different points of the track. So, you know, the slow drivers towards the front, the faster drivers in the middle, all that kind of business. And then we'll have a race 3 as well, where it's the top 10 from race 2 will be reversed, and that will set the grid for race number 3. We want to kick things off though, mate, with a bit of news about James Montgomery. Lots of news going on in the community tonight, but we want to give a special mention to James this evening because he's running a special livery this evening, and for a very, very good cause. And he asked whether it was possible to get a shout out for his new livery at some point during tonight's action, specifically to mention to the that he's racing for the Racing Awareness for the Little Princess Trust. He's not just running in a custom livery for that tonight, but he's also going to be cutting off all of his hair in June to donate to the charity to make real hair wigs for cancer patients. So he's on a big publicity run at the moment for that, and we are fully behind him here at DDMM. So we'll try and get the links in the chat he's got a bit of a Just Giving page for that effort. So if you've got any spare cash at all, please do give what you can. But fantastic effort there from Monty to be doing that, and hopefully he'll be towards the sharp end of the grid tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, fantastic initiative that he's taking part in there. Relieved to hear that he's waiting until June to have the haircut, though. He's not doing it whilst he's driving tonight. That would be slightly up. No, fantastic effort from him. And hey, he's not that. He's pretty high up in the championship as well. So I think we'll see plenty of this livery as well as he's competing tonight, because I suspect he'll be right in the thick of it. So yeah, brilliant stuff.
Very much indeed. What's happening in qualifying so far, Howard? Who's looking quick out there?
Provisional poll at the moment is with Charlie Summers in the number 35. Here he is. This is just coming out of Tosa now. and heading up the hill to Piratella. Got to have a lot of commitment in this next part of the lap. Got to be careful of track limits as well around this circuit, Andrew. I know it sounds a little bit of a perhaps not the most exciting subject, but it is a circuit that will punish you if you keep, you know, particularly here, for example, Acqua Minerale. You don't want to be falling foul of track limits, particularly in a session like this where you want to set a valid lap that's going to count and put you in a good standing on the grid.
So just to explain again, so as I say, I'm very aware that we'll have some people who perhaps just tuning in, casually tuning in. Very, very glad to have you. Similar to how in Formula 1, the second you get a track limit infringement, your lap time gets deleted. It's the same case here in iRacing, but you also get your lap time deleted if you lose control. So if you have a bit of an off, it's not like you can finish the lap time and be a little bit slow. No, it's deleted as if it never happened. But Charlie Summers coming round here to complete his qualifying session. Michael J. Preston has gone fastest out there. We're on board here with Mike Hart in the number 11. The meme machine is back, ladies and gentlemen. Look at it in all of its glory.
Oh yes, it's been too long. It's been too long for Mr. Hart and the meme car. How is he going to do come around this time? Should be on course to set his first time lap this time round.
Charlie Summers goes back to the top of the timesheets, 2-minute 3.31 at the moment. Where does Mike Hart go to complete if this is his first flying lap? If it was his first flying lap, or was it an out lap?
I don't think it was a valid lap.
Nope, so not a valid lap, so he'll have to go around again and try and set it. And that's the precious scenario now, mate, that he's used his banker lap, his lap where he just wanted to get one in solidly. He's had an off-track somewhere, and it's very easy to get an off-track round this circuit, and now he's only got one lap to try and get a good time in.
Yeah, exactly what you were talking about, mate. As Sam Sanders, championship leader coming into tonight, is going to come across the line here, and he improves up to third at 2:03.3.
So good stuff.
Still quite a few drivers, Andrew, with no time on the board.
Yeah, sorry, I could have crossed you there. But so it's Summers at the moment from Michael Preston. The Michael Preston fans are, of course, already in the chat and reckon he's going to bottle it again. So good evening to Matthew Graham. I think that's George Palazzi in the chat as well. Good to see you guys. But he is P2 at the moment on your screens, just coming to a stop and cutting to the pit lane. Here's the number 48 of Cameron Watson. It's looked like he's had a bit of a difficult time out there, Howard, because he's only in P16.
Yeah, absolutely. In the mid-205s. And this is his last opportunity on this lap. Who else is still going around to give it another go?
I think Kirith Calirai might be out there, but I think he's going to run out of time. I think, yeah, Patrick Pichget is out there. He's currently P6.
It's not been too bad a lap, this one, Andrew. He's had fastest sector in sector 1.
As indeed, over the line. Does he improve? I don't think he does.
I don't think he did, no. Oh, sorry, I think he may have improved, but not enough to move up in the positions.
Ah, okay. Absolutely, I get what you mean there. So it looks like Charlie Summers has got pole position here. Kirith Calirai is out on circuit. Hello to the Kirith Kart army. But he's been very late into the lobby. It's a good job we didn't have to have a formal driver's briefing tonight. Otherwise, he would have been a naughty boy and stuck to the back of the grid for being late. But, well, that's going to happen anyway because he's run out of time. 10 minutes is up. The checkered flag is going to be out. I'm going to put us on that screen for a moment before iRacing resets everything and gives you all a view that you don't want to see. But good qualifying there from Charlie Summers, mate.
Yeah, really good effort. I want to say that's his first time qualifying on pole this season. So really good effort there. In fact, I'm going to flash up the code. In fact, rather than doing that, can I show us that in grid form? Let's do a grid form, shall we?
There it is. Take us through it.
Yeah, absolutely. So Charlie Summers on pole with that one. Michael Preston, ever present, ever at the sharp end of this championship alongside Sam Sanders and Josh Ladd, make it a very interesting first couple of rows with James Montgomery and Patrick Pischke next up. Steve Hicks and Nathan Maximin are next, with Chris Hansen and Tom Dix rounding out the top 10. Alex Mitchell and Ben Bennyworth are next up. And then it's down on the 7th row of the grid where we've got our highest placed Class 2 runner in the form of Murray Adams, so good qualifying for him. Adrian Goodwin alongside. Christopher Powell and Cameron Watson are next, with Andrew Dawson and Matthew Wyfer, on the 9th row. James Fremont and Matt Hale round out your top 20. Simon Kochsis is next, and Alan Curtis alongside Ian Sumner and Mike Hart in the meme car is next up. And then it's going to be Ed Keithley, Kirith Cali-Rai. These are all people who didn't set a time at this point. Aidan Bliss, Craig Brown, David Whitehouse and Andrew Goldby to round out a lovely 30-car grid there for us in race number 1.
So all those drivers at the back put in order of their iRating. Should explain as well, on your timing tower, those with a red number board are Class 1s. They are your more experienced drivers. Ones with blue number boards are Class 2, up-and-comers. And up and down the field, there will be frenetic action. We're ready to go then for 20 minutes round Imola here at this historic circuit in Imola in Italy for round 5 of the 2022 Club 100 and BUKC iRacing Championship. 5 lights, away we go. Good start for Charlie Summers from pole position. Good start for, in fact, pretty much the pole side of the grid. Michael J. Preston cuts across the front there to take P2. The running down to the Tamburello chicane for the first time. We saw some action here in the Formula 1 in the wet on Sunday. Are they all going to get through? It's good so far, Howard, for the top 10.
Yeah, absolutely. Looks fairly clean as they've come through Tamburello and now heading towards the Villeneuve chicane. There's a few moves further down the field, but by and large, Andrew, it seems like it was a pretty clean start. Ed Keithley, I think, has dropped towards the back. One of the drivers had a hard time getting off the line, so maybe that was him, or he was held up by that. But yeah, great start for Charlie Summers off of pole. And delighted to say so far, Andrew, it's getting nice and close there, but no incidents or accidents I can see so far. Yeah,
we're still in the reset zone at the moment. Josh Ladd up the inside. There's big news about Josh Ladd, which we'll come on to in a moment once we've got through the chaos of lap number 1. Patrick Pischke in the Aston Martin liveried car, having a look at the inside of James Montgomery in the number 14 there. Here's the call that all the Formula 1 drivers are having trouble with at the weekend, but not here in the Club 100 and BUKC iRacing Championship, heading towards the chicane, and I think there's a slowdown penalty there. Was that Michael J. Preston going backwards? It was one of the FFR cars. That's where a driver is deemed by the iRacing sim to have cut a corner. They've got to pull to one side, slow down, give the time back, but on lap 1, that is not what you want, Howard, because you're going to lose a stack of positions, and it's tricky to overtake round here.
Yeah, and I think James Montgomery may have had the same thing, Andrew. Here he is going slowly down towards Ravazza, so I think he fell foul of it through the Variante Alta chicane. But this is going to be a key thing for these drivers. Can they keep it clean? Not just in terms of not making contact with a fellow competitor, but as deemed by the sim, are they staying within the confines of the circuit?
End of lap number 1 then. 2 minutes and more of this race already gone. Charlie Summers leads from pole position. Michael J. Preston, though, is looking to set up a move, perhaps into the Tamburello chicane. It's, again, difficult to get alongside in that region of the circuit, and it's not the deepest of braking zones into the Tamburello chicane. Josh Ladd there in the Durex car in 3rd place. Patrick Pischke, that's been a really good lap, Howard, for Patrick Pischke off the start, up to P4. We've seen him have a lot of solid races so far this season in his first year in this championship, and once again he's showing his mettle here at Imola.
Yeah, absolutely cracking start there. Not too much field spread generally, is there here? This, I think, is boding well for a good first race of the evening here. 11 laps this race, so a decently length sprint for the drivers to get their teeth into as our leaders head into Piratella.
It's a live timing page as well over on the Double Dash Motorsport Media website. Link is in the chat. We'll show you up-to-date figures of how everybody is doing so far in this race. But this is a good start for Charlie Summers, but it's Josh Ladd once again on the attack here against his championship rival from 2021, Michael J. Preston. This is going to get tasty again, Howard.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. They are right nose to tail at the moment. It's been really quite evenly matched throughout this whole lap, to be honest. I've not really seen a lot of give and take in terms of gaps here between these top three. I wonder if it serves them, Andrew, to maybe not fight so much at this point. They're going to do some classic sprint racing tactics here, maybe, and work together. But saying that, the likes of Piskay and Hicks and Hansen behind are keeping them very honest, so I'm not sure how much they have in the arsenal in terms of using those tactics.
I'm going to mention it now. We are very proud of our main man Josh Ladd, because earlier on today the news that came out, and of course he's trying to interrupt his own announcement here by trying to get by the drivers ahead, and yeah, he very much is interrupting the announcement. Down the inside, the brand new Williams Formula 1 esports driver has just taken second place. There we go. That's not how I thought I was going to be announcing that tonight.
But it's a very appropriate way to do it, I think, for Josh Ladd, as he's going for an overtake. No, yeah, absolutely fantastic news. Brilliant achievement there for Josh Ladd. I don't think we're surprised, are we, mate, given his ability in this virtual form of racing. He is. I mean, we've seen it this season. We keep changing cars, we keep changing formats. We go around all these different circuits, and he's always there. So I don't think we're surprised at all, but it is absolutely fantastic news. And as you say, we're very proud here in the CLUB100 community to have him achieve that. And yeah, it will be fantastic to watch how he goes on in that capacity.
Yeah, head across to @Williams Esports across your social media networks to check out more about that. There was a good little video on Instagram earlier, and there is Josh Ladd. You see they're just holding back through the very anti-alta chicane there, trying to get as good a run out and down towards the end of this circuit. This is where we saw Lance Stroll and Yuki Tsunoda have a bit of a moment in the Grand Prix on Sunday. And Josh Ladd, does he think about the dive down the inside? No, he takes his time with this one. Maybe he'll try and set up another move into Tamburello.
Yeah, you've got to think that he'll be trying to get into the slipstream heading towards Tamburello. As you say, I'll be long straight here. The old Formula 1 layout, of course, they'd use the chicane they've just passed on the left there. But here it is a nice long run towards Tamburello, and he's going to have the job done surely this time out. He pulled the slipstream out perfectly, and behind him as well, Piskay and Preston are doing battle, but it is Josh Ladd through. He had the job done pretty much by the braking zone there, and Josh Ladd takes himself to the lead of the race, one lap on from taking second place. And now it's going to be a question of can he control it, because so far, Andrew, everyone's been keeping each other very honest at the front.
There's some great racing behind them as well. I saw Chris Hansen and Sam Sanders going side by side through the Tamburello chicane. Hansen won out in that one, last year's Class 2 champion in the 01 car there, fighting with Sam Sanders. And this is, at the moment, I feel a bit of a damage limitation race for Sam Sanders at the moment. He doesn't want to throw it down the road. 7th place is still not bad.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it was he who had the slowdown on the first lap that's put him back here, Andrew. But he's got the job done there into Piratella, which is not the easiest place to execute a move. So nicely done there. And he moves himself up into 6th place.
Thank you very much to everyone who's tuned in so far tonight. If you're enjoying the stream, if you're enjoying the commentary, do make sure you've clicked that like button. Giving it a share as well. Tell your family and friends about us here at DDMM. And I'm going to read out a very long list of names now, because as I say, these are just the ones that Google lets me know who you are. There's many more over the course of the weekends, but thank you very much to Michael Ferrer, James 93, Jacob Newman, C. McCurdy, Steve Bruce. Is it the real Steve Bruce? West Bromwich Albion manager. He likes DDMM. Zach Morgan, Chuff TM, Sanderman 909, Aaron and Naya Vicky. Thank you so much to all of those people who subscribed to DDMM over the last few days since we were last live. Looking a little bit further back down the order here. Oh, is the Greg's car down the inside there? That's the number 29 of Adrian Goodwin trying to get past Christopher Powell in the blue, black and red car. This is all Class 2 action here, Howard, and as ever, it's very, very entertaining.
Yeah, absolutely. Interesting to see, actually. We have got quite a stark division between classes 1 and 2 in this race, which we don't always see. They are, of course, all in equal machinery. Adrian Goodwin here in that race car was the driver off the start, Andrew, who had difficulty getting the power down off the line. So I think he might have lost quite a few places on that first lap, as ahead of him Christopher Powell and Matthew Whitefoot are doing battle, and that's not gone well for Whitefoot because that's allowed Goodwin through. And Andrew Dawson's looking to get into this one now as well. Which battle's going to go more side by side? They're both going to go side by side, and it's a pass for Goodwin on Powell. But it's as they were, well, it's still side by side between Bennyworth and Whitefoot. Whitefoot losing out there, and actually that was Craig Brown getting involved as well, and they're still going. If they go 2 wide, maybe even having a look at going 3 wide as they come out of Tosa and up the hill. Whitefoot trying to come back at Dawson, sorry, I think I said Bennyworth there. Andrew Dawson in the orange and blue car. Of course, will Whitefoot go down the inside of Piratella? No, he stays there, but Andrew Dawson's going to go almost, felt like paying a visit to Monza then, I think, rather than Imola. But it didn't provide the opportunity, and now it's Craig Brown who goes down the inside. Brilliant little battle, changing all the time here, and I don't think it's done yet. Yeah,
really good move that by Craig Brown on the brakes, confidently got it done. As through the Varianti Alta chicane they go. Murray Adams, by the way, is your leader in Class 2. Class 2, the drivers on your timing tower with blue number boards. Murray Adams, one of our C2 contenders. Raced a little bit in this championship last year, the driver from Scotland. Side by side here, it's the 21 and the 13. Steve Hicks running in a very suitable livery this evening, as ever. I didn't know he was Italian, but there we go. Patrick Pischke has just been pushed there down to 4th place. And what has happened to Charlie Summers? Is everything okay? Because at the moment I'm seeing timings reading him as in 7th place.
You are correct, Andrew. You are correct. Good spot, mate. Yes, he is. He's down here in 7th place. And he's some 2 seconds, oh, he's a bit in no man's land here, so something's happened to Summers there. Apologies that we weren't able to pick that up on camera, but he has lost out heavily on time. And whilst we've been checking that, is that a change for the lead as well? Michael Preston's got through. I think that was just now on Josh Ladd. There's some traffic that they're having to deal with here, and I think it may have brought things quite close together. It's suddenly lit up again here at the front, Andrew. Was that a bit wide from Preston there out of Aqua Minerale? Up towards the Varianti Alta chicane.
It's Alex Mitchell who's ahead of them, the current BUKC driver. He'll get blue flags, and I'm sure he'll pull over to one side in the Lego Speed Champions. Good driving there from Alex. Just going to let these leaders through, because once again on a Wednesday night in the Club 100 of BUKC iRacing Championship, it's Preston, it's Ladd, it's one-on-one, this time in the MX-5s at Imola.
It's that, absolutely, but let's not take away as well from the fantastic battle that's developing over 3rd place as well here, Andrew, with Pischke, Sanders and Hicks at the moment, and that's, I think I'm right in saying, the reverse order of how they started the lap, and again they're going to exchange this one. It's where do you look in this one?
Here comes,
because it's side by side for the lead.
I was going to say, here comes Captain Pegleg. Steve Hicks running injured at the moment, having played some football with a 4-year-old who destroyed him, destroyed his legs. He'll never walk again, but he's at least having a go in iRacing, and he can still pedal a bit here in this sim, and he's got whoa around the outside of Patrick Pischke there. Beautifully done, as did Sam Sanders there. So Sam Sanders and Steve Hicks ganging up on Patrick Pischke there and shuffling him down to 5th.
Yeah, and Josh Ladd getting by Michael Preston on the run down to Tabarella again as well. So change for the lead there. Look at this. coming into Tamburello. This is awful position here between these drivers. Absolutely brilliant stuff. It's the battle over 14th place down to, oh gosh, 14th place down to about 22nd. They're all together. This is Matt Hale in the Simply Catnip car.
Problems potentially for Josh Ladd. I'm seeing him falling down the order. Don't know if it's a timing glitch or not. It is a timing glitch. Never mind. Never mind. Sorry, I've cut across you. Your brilliant production to get straight on that. There was nothing happening. My bad.
No, no worries, mate. Got to keep on top of these things. Oh, there's James Fremont. He's just a little bit up the road from all of the battling, so I'm going to go back to Adrian Goodwin. That's who we're going to go back to, because he's just got by on David Whitehouse in the 777.
Got to say, whilst we briefly saw James Fremont there, this is another very good performance from James. He is very much securing his position in my eyes as most improved driver of 2022.
Yes, yeah, really good point there. Driving very, very well this season. And as we say, it's a season where you're across different cars and different formats of racing, so that is not to be sniffed at, as again we're side by side for the lead of this one. And it's going to swap once again in favour of Michael Preston. This is going to be the thing now, Andrew. We've got into this rhythm where these two are swapping around each time they head onto a new lap and down towards the main overtaking spot of this circuit. It's almost like being on serve in tennis, isn't it? It's like, who's going to break serve, who's going to do a pass which isn't heading down towards Tamburello in these remaining few laps. Can someone break that rhythm and start to pull away?
So what do we reckon? 3 more laps with 5 minutes on the clock. It's going to be very, very tight indeed. And quite crucially here is also where the finish line is. I think I'm right in saying it's a little bit further back on the straight. It's not, as often seen with Formula 1 circuits, it's not where the start line is. As I say, it's set at the back of the grid. That might not be a long enough distance from the exit of Rivazza to get up alongside, as Craig Brown does a great move there down the inside. And I think that was Andrew Dawson going into Tosa.
Yep.
Daytona teammates there on the DDMM iBarnstormer squad. Driver passing the spotter that we had on that weekend. Both of them did very well. But no, so the run out of Rivazza, Howard, to the finish line being considerably shorter than where we're seeing the overtakes being done on that run down to Tamburello. If you're in second place coming out of there, you've got to absolutely nail it just to give yourself a shot of pulling alongside and nipping over the line in first place.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. As I definitely agree with you. So I was getting distracted by Adrian Goodwin, who I thought was going to send it down the inside of Powell Variante Alta. But yeah, absolutely, you've really got to commit in that situation. As I think they're going. Let's check in. Oh, they've managed to make it to Tamburello without swapping positions, Andrew. So Michael Preston, for the first time there, I think has successfully fended off Josh Ladd going down that main straight.
Crucial lap this, penultimate lap of the race. What is going to happen here? Big thanks to our sponsors of this championship, who we should give a good mention to. G3 Pro, providers of all your vehicle cleaning product needs, and also Simply Catnip as well. Check their details out in the description below, and big thanks, as I say, to them for their support of this championship, where the prizes on offer for the drivers this season. iRacing dollars for our top performers, both on the night and through the course of the season. And the winners at the end of the year, when we get to December, both in Class 1 and Class 2, will both receive a free race entry into a 2023 Club 100 Endurance Championship race of their choosing. Meanwhile, back at the front, Josh Ladd, fresh off that new Williams Esports contract, trying to find a way here. Past another driver who I think has been involved with that effort in the past in iRacing, Michael J. Preston.
So it's a good point, actually. Right. So, yeah, it's the ongoing battle that we get in Club100 iRacing. I have to say though, Sam Sanders doing well behind them to just slightly break away now, and I do mean slightly, from Pishke and the hits in that battle over third. So that's a good one to keep an eye on as well. Here we go though again, Andrew. We're on to the main straight. Can Josh Ladd get another run here for the race lead?
So just to check, there coming up is the finish line. Are they going to be scored to? They've already crossed it at this point, and Josh Ladd has not got through. Is he just holding it all in reserve here for the last lap of the race? I don't think he's going for it. I don't think he's going for it here, Howard. He's trying to set this up to not overtake too early, to make sure that he's leading when they come out of the Rivazzas for the last time.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with you there, mate. I think that's exactly what's happening. As behind them, I think the battle for first goes back up again. After I said that Sanders may have got a bit of breathing space, but yeah, I think he is. If he is, though, you've got to say, you know, in a lot of situations in racing, track position is king, so it is a risky strategy, because Preston, if he can defend effectively onto that last lap, or maybe, well, yeah, sorry, it is now going to be onto that last lap. Then that might be it for Josh Ladd in terms of being able to take the race win.
There is a back marker up ahead, just to let you know, 20th place at the moment, which will give pole position for race number 2. It's currently in the hands of Kirith Kalirai. So Kirith, who's come from the back of the field, wasn't able to practice, wasn't able to qualify, is currently on schedule for a race 2 pole position. That will please the Kirith Kart army. Here's the battle for third place. Sanders, Pishke, Hicks there in 5th. Chris Hansen and Charlie Summers coming back into this. It's going to be a grandstand finish. 20 minutes up on the clock. In fact, no, I think we are going to go longer. No, we are going to go for one more. It's a +1 lap. So it is going to be 11 laps here. Michael J. Preston heading down into the Rivazzas then. Josh Ladd just holding back a bit. It's all about trying to get this run out of these 2 tricky left-handers. Here's where Carlos Sainz went off in qualifying, proper qualifying on Friday afternoon. These guys have navigated it well though. Down the pit straight they go. Couple of cars in pit lane. They saw David Whitehouse and I think Christopher Powell's still running, so there's somebody else in there.
Aidan Bliss, I think, Andrew.
Okay, now we are on the last lap, so white flag has been shown.
And that's not done it. Into Tamburello, that is still Preston ahead. So Josh Ladd is going to have to get creative here, Andrew, if he's going to take the position.
He's indeed, and Preston really is defending now, and there's stuff going on behind them as well between Patrick Pishke and Sam Sanders. Looks like Pishke has got through and past Sanders, but no, Sanders has got him back now. We knew this would happen, didn't we, mate? That this circuit, these cars would produce some fantastic racing. Charlie Summers has got past Chris Hansen there.
We're joining the party, Andrew. If these 3 keep battling ahead of them, then it's going to be a 5-car battle for third place as we come towards the end of the lap. Here are the race leaders coming through Piratelli. You wouldn't have thought there'd be an opportunity for Josh Ladd there. He does still need to be careful of these track limits though.
Yeah, I think they're tactically using them up now. They've got some to spare. There is a back marker. Will they catch the back marker up? I can't quite make out who it is at the moment.
I think it's Cameron Watson.
Okay, so Cameron Watson's not had a good race here and could be caught, could come into play. We're into the Variante Alta for the last time in race 1. This is only race 1 of the night. We've still got another 2 of these to come. Keep it locked here on DDMM. Michael Preston goes defensive to the inside. He's going to show the outside to Josh Ladd. They're heading down to the Rivatza for the last time in this race. They're side by side, door to door. There's no way through for Josh Ladd. Michael Preston has stopped it on the apex there. Can he get it out of the Rivatza too? Yes, he can. It's going to be a bit of a slipstream for Josh Ladd. Is he going to have enough to get alongside? He's got a good run on him, but Michael Preston holds out for a brilliant victory to kick things off here tonight at Imola. Josh Ladd takes P2. Sam Sanders is going to win out in that battle for third. That's a good recovery for Sam Sanders after a difficult start. Patrick Pishke is 4th. Steve Hicks is 5th. Charlie Summers is 6th. Chris Hansen 7th. Good drive from James Montgomery. racing there to 8th place. Nathan Maximin. Didn't talk about Nathan too much, but he had a very good race as well. P9 for the driver in the number 31. Tom Dix 10th. Here is going to be your C2 winner. Murray Adams in the white car there finishes 11th overall ahead of Ben Bennyworth. Second place in C2 should go in the direction of James Fremont. Yes, it does. Adrian Goodwin 14th. 15th for Christopher Powell. There's a great scrap going on, I think, mate, for this 20th place. These are all key positions on the grid, of course. They want to make sure that they get to the end of the race. Powell, Whitefoot, Brown, Hale, Dawson. That takes us down to 19th. 20th is going to be Kirith Kali-Rai. That is a very good recovery from Kirith Kali-Rai. Some would say the tactical genius to get pole position for race number 2 there. Just outside are going to be Alex Mitchell, Alan Curtis, and David Whitehouse. But a really, really good finish there, mate, to a stunning first race of the evening.
Well, that was a highly entertaining way to open the evening. I'm really liking the fact that we are going to do that twice more. Yes, we did have the usual culprits fighting over the top spot amongst the top 2, but for me, mate, the pace across the top 6 was brilliant. They just kept each other honest throughout the whole race, and I don't think it's a foregone conclusion, particularly as we start flipping our grid around, as Cameron Watson's going to come across the line, the last person to take the checkered flag on the lead lap there. I don't think it's a foregone conclusion that it's going to be Ladd and Preston throughout the whole thing, because I think there are some really rapid drivers out there generally, and we saw fantastic battles throughout the field. So really, really good stuff. And Imola so far providing exactly what we expected, which was some absolutely fantastic racing.
Right, we've got race 2 coming up. We'll go straight into it, hopefully. Everything. Apologies for sometimes the something's going on with SDK, and sometimes the iRacing user interface comes up. Well, we don't want that, so hopefully it's not come up this time. There it is. Our grid is forming up, Howard, for race number 2. This is usually in the sprint format where the most dramatic things of the evening happen, shall we say, especially this start. Take us through the grid.
Absolutely, it's Kali-Rai and Dawson on the front row. It was tactical from Kirith, right from the off. He even turned up late for qualifying to get to this point, I'm sure. Matt Hale and Craig Brown next on the grid. Whitefoot and Powell are next with Goodwin and Fremont, Bennyworth and Adams to round out your top 10. And it's Tom Dix and Nathan Maximin on row number 6. And the grid has gone away from me there. Apologies, because we're getting going now. Kirith Kali-Rai will lead them away, and he's got a decent start there as they head towards the first major braking zone of this race, going 2 wide, even 3 wide. Can they keep it clean this time round in this reverse grid race?
No, I can hear crunching behind, but oh dear, that is a real mess, and that may be a safety car straight away. And I think James Fremont was involved there. Oh, big impact by the 888 of Ian Sumner. And we have had a safety car come out for that incident straight away at Tamburello.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's going to be into that safety car cautionary period for everybody. But yeah, quite a few drivers have involved early on there. Didn't see what started it though, Andrew.
By my trained ears of iRacing crunches off of screen, I think it started from around 12th position.
Yeah.
And then just constituted back. As we saw in the Formula 1 on Sunday, it is very tight through that chicane.
Yeah. So this is Simon Kopcic, who's I think the further. Oh no, he's not the furthest down the order on track. Oh, sorry, he is. I think Andrew Golby and Ed Keithley have both recovered to the pits. And then Alan Curtis was involved, as was Ian Sumner. I think James Fremont here was involved as well. It at least those drivers were involved, as they will begin to form up behind the safety car. So here is Kirith Cali-Wright leading the race, having started on pole on this reverse grid, or this top 20 reverse grid race.
At least we get to say, officially, Cali-Wright leads a lap of Imola.
Certainly can. Cali-Wright, your leader, Andrew Dawson in second.
The chat is actually, whilst we have this this pace car, reports from the House of White House, I died, engine blew in that first race. So that's why he was in the pit lane. Matthew Graham, as ever, still holding hope, I should say, for a Michael Preston bottle job, even after that first race result. Things we expect to see: Josh Ladd punting Michael Preston and Sam Sanders. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. We didn't see it on screen, so we don't know who or what caused that first one. Hopefully, we'll get the pace car in pretty quickly. And there is the Porsche safety car. So the grid will form up, so hopefully it'll come in this lap. I might need your assistance, mate, to make sure that it is going to come in this lap. If not, we'll go round one more time. But the order, as we say, Kirith Cali-Wright at the front of the order. Andrew Dawson, P2 at the moment. Craig Brown, P3. Matt Hale, 4th. And this is a good chance for Matt Hale. He needs some points in the C2 battle. We'll be looking forward to our next event, won't we, mate, when we go to Indianapolis for the month of May and our second run on the ovals.
Yeah, absolutely. We will be returning to the oval format. We'll be at Indianapolis, I believe.
And we'll be in the Indy cars as well. It'll be one of the fastest rounds I think we've ever had in this championship. You'd have thought those couple of years ago when we started out in this very car around Okayama that we'd be hosting our own miniature Indianapolis 500. I don't think any of us would have, honestly. So let's see if the safety car is coming in this lap. Or if it's going round again. Sometimes it takes it coming over the line for the first time. Yes, it is doing that thing, isn't it? We try and control it. But pace car has to come over start finish line once to classify itself as, yes, I've done a lap, now I'll come in, please. So it should definitely be in after this lap. So I just had confirmation then that yes, we are one lap to green. Sorry, those of you in the background will know what I just had to do there, but there we go. You've not missed anything. It is still Cali-Wright from Dawson, Brown, Hale, Powell, Bennyworth, Whitefoot, Montgomery, Summers, Maximin. That is your top 10. James Montgomery quite well positioned here, mate, because he's there in 8th place. We'll be hoping for at least a top 5, would you think, from this position?
Yeah, I'd have thought so. He's currently the third highest placed Class 1 runner. So I think he definitely would be fancying his chances here to get on up the order. Just sat behind Matthew Whitefoot at the moment. And but yeah, he's got plenty of good competition from behind as well, hasn't he? But yeah, I think top 5 would definitely be his target in this one. And it'll be interesting as well to see these drivers who are at the front of this one, or a few of these drivers, Andrew, were involved in some very frenetic battles in the first race. They certainly knew how to get their elbows out. Craig Brown, we saw battling away with Andrew Dawson in front of him. And Adrian Goodwin as well in 11th place. He was having a lot of good battles after what I think was a bit of a faltered start. As I say, I think he had problems getting the power down off the line in that first race, but managed to recover well with some good battles. He's going to have one heck of a battle now, though, because behind him he has a certain Josh Ladd, followed by a certain Mr. Michael Preston. So it's going to be a difficult one for him as we go back to green here.
Apologies for the Elgato struggling a little bit there. Josh Ladd is weaving so much that it just can't cope. There's a little bit of wave around going on, but the pace car will be coming in this lap. You can see the lights on the top of the Porsche safety car are out. I didn't quite see which car that was being given a bit of a wave around. No matter.
It's Andrew Golby.
Oh, okay. So Andrew Golby will have a bit of time to himself.
I think he was the driver who had to go to the pits for damage.
Ah, okay. So we're ready to go then here once again. The pace car will pull off to its right. There it goes. It's all on Cali Rai. Can Kirith Cali Rai get this restart right? He's got a gap, and away we go for racing once again. There'll be 8 more laps here at Imola for race number 2. Andrew Dawson's got the slipstream though. He's got a good run. He's going left. Oh, he's feinted him. Beautifully done by Andrew Dawson to the outside as they run towards the Tamburello chicane. And here comes Craig Brown, 3 wide up the inside. Dawson takes the lead. Brown into second. Cali Rai third. Matt Hale has held on to fourth in the Simply Catnip car. Brilliant start there from Andrew Dawson.
Brilliant stuff from Dawson, brilliant stuff from Craig Brown. I said they'd been battling a lot in the last race and knew how to get their elbows out. That was brilliantly judged there as they all stream to the Villeneuve chicane. Look at the battling behind as well. It's fantastic stuff here as some of the James Montgomery, one of the drivers that we earmarked in that caution period, has got by Matthew Whitefoot, and the drivers ahead of him are holding each other. That's round the outside there for Montgomery past Ben Bennyworth. That was fantastic stuff there as they head up the hill towards Piratella. Craig Brown along side by side with Andrew Dawson for the lead of this race. It's going to go to Craig Brown under braking as Kirith Cali Rai is still sat there in third place, and behind them it's almost like a Noah's Ark formation here as they head down towards Aqua Minerale.
Craig Brown took a fantastic victory in the Ferrari GT3s last season at Spa in a reverse grid race. He leads once again on a Formula 1 circuit. Can he take another victory? You see James Montgomery in the Racing Awareness for Little Princess Trust car a few positions back. He's working his way through. This is good stuff. On board with James Montgomery now, and the view ahead of him as they rush down towards the Rivazzas. He's got Christopher Powell in the 769 alongside him. To the inside goes car number 14, gains another position. Oh, bit of lag there for Kirith Cali Rai. That's an alternative strategy. Let's see if it works out for him. I think he's going to lose a couple of positions.
I think he might lose more than a couple, Andrew. He's seriously compromised here as everyone's got a nice draft train going alongside him. That's going to drop him back to 8th place. Let's look at this, heading down towards Tamburello again. Josh Ladd executes a move on Kirith Cali Rai this time. And actually everyone's, he's dropping through the order, I'm afraid to say, is Cali Rai. In fact, he acquired some damage there because he's extremely slow there as they head towards the Villeneuve chicane.
Through the Villeneuve chicane. Very tricky one to get right, I feel. And that's been pretty well done by everybody at this moment. Mike Hart's just ahead of us, trying to find a way past Matthew Whitefoot. And it's easy to understeer and go wide through that section of the circuit.
Yeah, it definitely is. As side by side goes Michael Preston with Nathan Maximin, I think that is. And Maximin doing well here, Andrew, to hang on to that position. He was on the outside heading towards Piratella and managed to hang on to it against Michael Preston. That's, I think that's pretty good driving there from Maximin.
Yeah, Nathan Maximin, the driver first signing for the Kirith Racing Team, KRT Esports. So at the moment he's beaten the boss, which will be good for him. He's trying to find a way past Matt Hale and the Simply Catnip car. Thank you once again to Simply Catnip and their sponsorship and support of this year's CLUB100 and BUKC iRACing Championship. Hope you're enjoying the stream at home. If you're new round here, give us a like, give us a subscribe. We're really close to 600 subscribers. Oh, look at that, slipping down the inside. Charlie Summers having a look on the number 96 of Ben Bennyworth. Bennyworth holds it around the outside, nicely defended.
Yeah, it was well done from Bennyworth there, because he dropped the position to Ladd, and it would have been easy to be mugged by Summers as well, but managed to hang on to it. It's going to be difficult here though. We are on board with Summers chasing Bennyworth. Maximin's not far behind either, so there's going to be quite a slipstream here as they head towards the first braking zone. Maximin's hasn't got more to worry about behind, I think, in the form of Michael Preston, but down the inside goes Summers, and that's nicely done there, and gets Summers up to 6th place now.
I've got to say, that is a driver in tune with these Mazdas tonight. That was brilliant on the brakes from Charlie Summers. You saw the back end of the car squirming around as we're now on board with James Montgomery in 2nd place, looking for the lead here. Not really alongside enough going into toes. A bit of a mistake maybe from Craig Brown. Was that just trying a different line to put James Montgomery off, though? It's worked quite well. He's got a bit of a gap as they head up to Piratella.
Yeah, absolutely. You said that Montgomery might be hoping for top 5, mate. He definitely wants the sharp end of that top 5 as behind them. Josh Ladd gets by an Andrew Dawson there.
Oh, what's happened behind? Big incident.
Maximin.
Yeah, Maximin and Ben Bennyworth getting together there on the entry to Piratella. It's going to cost them big time. A load of positions lost by both drivers. And a new wing mirror required for Ben Bennyworth there. That's seen better days.
Yeah, definitely. That's a slightly second-hand Mazda at this point. In fact, there's a few wing mirrors hanging off around the field. Let's not lie. But on the whole, it's been pretty good racing. Now, Josh Ladd is going to arrive on this scene at the front. It's already a major battle between Brown and Montgomery. They are certainly not working together to stave off the threat from behind, though. And one feels that Josh Ladd may be able to pick these off, but Montgomery really in the pressure cooker now. He's got to make the move, you would have thought, here on this straight. Otherwise he's going to be a sitting duck. Pulls alongside with Craig Brown. Is it going to go 3 wide? It is going to go 3 wide here, and there's contact there between Montgomery and Brown swerves. I thought he was going to tag the back of Ladd then, but he didn't, and it's going to be Ladd who has the inside line, under braking into Tamburello, and he gets the job done, and that was brilliantly read by Josh Ladd, as it all got a little bit flaky there between Montgomery and Brown.
How have we not got 3 Mazda MX-5s in the wall here? James Montgomery trying to go down the inside into the Villeneuve chicane, on the brakes side by side between Villeneuve, through the Villeneuve chicane there. Oh, the camera's inside James Ladd's car there. He's still on the inside as James Montgomery taking the lead. Brilliant stuff for the driver racing there in the racing awareness for the Little Princess Trust. They're catching up to Andrew Golby now, who is a lap down, who will get blue flags, and it's still going on. Josh Ladd goes on the brakes there for a split moment as they head up to Piratella. This is fantastic stuff from James Montgomery. He is right on the metal tonight.
Yeah, this is fantastic stuff, and I love being proved right as well, because I'd said I didn't think that these races were all going to be the Josh Ladd and Michael Preston show at the front, because of some of the speed and pace and racecraft that some of the drivers are showing, some of their fellow competitors are showing this evening, and that from Montgomery is exactly the kind of thing I was thinking of. Not in any way deterred by, you know, Ladd getting by. He's like, right, keep the momentum, how can I get by? And Craig Brown was ready to, was nipping at the heels as well as they went into Tota. albeit he now has more to worry about, I think, from Charlie Summers, as there's a little moment dipping the wheels onto the grass for Ladd as he tries to find a way through here. But this is going to be fascinating, Andrew, as they come onto the main straight again. Traffic is coming into play here in the form of Golby.
Yeah, you'd hope that Andrew Golby just pulls over to one side. He's not aware of the leaders coming through. Moment there for James Montgomery. He just gets, in fact, I think Josh Ladd actually helped him out of that situation by just pushing him along. Something else happened further back, because all of a sudden Charlie Summers is up into third place. Michael J. Preston is in fourth. Steve Hicks fifth. I've got a feeling we're missing Craig Brown in all of this, mate. Not quite sure where he's gone, but at the front of the field it is still James Montgomery leading from Josh Ladd. And yeah, it is Brown a little bit further back. He's got Chris Hansen to his outside, the number 27 of Tom Dix to the inside. Side by side once again for the leaders. They're going to do it again into the field of chicane. I can't keep up with this. This is fantastic stuff, even by the lofty standards of the Club 100 and BUKC iRacing Championship. What a race we've got here at Imola.
Yeah, and it's going to become a four-horse race, isn't it, Andrew? Because Charlie Summers and Michael Preston have been steadily working onto the back of these two, and with the battling that they're doing, here we go. It's now 4 for the lead of this race, and we've still got a good few laps here in which this can all change.
We're on lap 8 of 11, second race of the evening if you're just joining us here on the DDMM YouTube channel. You're watching live coverage of round 5 of the Club 100 and BUKC iRacing Championship for 2022. Here's a good battle. This is Matt Hale in the 333 Simply Catnip car. Murray Adams, C2 Class 2 winner from race number 1, and Adrian Goodwin in everybody's favourite car, the Greg's car, just behind. This is the fight over 15th place. Murray Adams looking down the inside as they go into the Variante Alta chicane. Has he got it done? He needs to get it stopped. There's going to be a run on here for Matt Hale out of the Variante Alta chicane. It's not done yet. Craig Brown and Chris Hansen just behind.
I've got to stop using those cameras, mate, because the cars are too close.
Verging inside, Hale to the inside, then through into Rivatsa 1. Is there going to be a lane for Adrian Goodwin to snip up alongside? There could be, you know, as Murray Adams is still hanging on in there. Back at the front of the field, though, it's on again between Ladd, Montgomery, Summers and Michael J. Preston here. Side by side once more into the Tamburello chicane. James Montgomery looking to the outside, had some good races with Josh Ladd at Knock Hill a few months ago in the touring cars. But Josh Ladd holds on. 3 laps including the one they're on to go. It's like Charlie Summers is having the slices of looks down the inside there.
It's a brilliant battle. I'm sorry, I just got this is. As I thought the first race was good with a classic Preston Ladd battle. This could go any way between these top 4. And if you're Steve Hicks and Nathan Maxman, don't battle too much in the battle over 5th either, because if it really gets going, then yeah, it could be interesting to see how this plays out.
And this is what we've been looking forward to, isn't it, mate? Kind of since about, what would you say, October last year, when James joined the championship. Wasn't a contender for that championship, of course, because he missed a lot of rounds, or you know, was only having 3 or 4 races. As Charlie Summers is looking at the inside of James Montgomery now as they go into the Variante Alta chicane. Deep on the brakes, side by side. How on earth have they managed to get through there side by side? This is brilliant stuff. Charlie Summers new to the championship this year, but it's these newer drivers coming in with their talents, bags full of talent, and taking on the likes of Josh Ladd and Michael Preston, who of course we've seen at the front of the order for quite a while in this championship.
Yeah, and Preston and Summers has gone wide there through Rivatsa, and that's going to allow Montgomery back through. I felt Preston and Summers, Andrew, were almost bump drafting down the hill towards Rivatsa there to try and get by on Montgomery, and it almost worked, except I think Summers ended up misjudging his braking as a result. The challenge, though, now is that that's allowed Ladd to just pull out a few car lengths here, and that might be all he needs to start constructing a lead gap here, because I don't feel these 3 are about to start working together.
Yeah, Charlie Summers going round the outside now. What a run he got there Can he get it stopped for the Tamarello chicane? He can just about get it stopped. There's nearly a bit of bumper rubbing again, and contact between Charlie Summers and James Montgomery. James Montgomery was not going to give that one up on the inside. Summers gets back on the track. We'll have dirty tyres for the next couple of corners. On board now with Nathan Maximin, who's again driving a fantastic race. P5 there, could be on for one of his best results so far.
Yeah, absolutely. Another fellow Daytona DTM member.
Oh, yes.
Sono's teammate as well. So yeah, on for a brilliant result at the moment. I think we were going on board to see if the moment for Summers provided an opportunity, but he's too far back at the moment as these top four, well, frankly, recover and dust themselves off after what was a frenetic exchange. A bit further back, Sam Sanders here challenging Matthew Whitefoot into Piratella, and that's him up to 11th place. And Cameron Watson, who's having a much better race this second time round this evening, gets through as well here. So great battles throughout the field, make no mistake about that.
I'm going to put it out there, mate. This is a crucial couple of laps for Sam Sanders' championship, I feel, because he is not in the position that he would have expected to be. And at the moment, he's on the outside of the top 10 reverse for race number 3. He's got to get up the road and try and get past Ben Bennyworth, but time is not on his side.
Yeah, agreed, mate. It's a bit of a case of damage limitation here from a championship perspective. He came into this evening as championship leader. First round in this Mazda MX-5 car of this year's championship, a car that we've used so much. But of course, he's another driver who came in a latter part of a season. We're seeing a full season campaign here for the first time, if memory serves correctly.
Yep.
And yeah, so he hasn't necessarily done as many of these guys in the MX-5. I'm not sure if that's a factor, but either way, you're absolutely right. He needs to get on up the road and get himself into a better position for the final one of these 3 sprint races.
We're on the final lap now. The white flag has been shown to the leader, and Josh Ladd is out front. And oh, look, here comes the man with one leg, well, maybe 1.5 legs by this stage, was genuinely practicing of how to drive with only a left foot this time last week. Steve Hicks, P7 at the moment. His good friend Mike Hart just ahead of him. And this battle's not done for 5th place because Nathan Maximin's at the front of all of this.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm just trying to catch up with all these battles going on further down through Tosa. Look at this stream of cars. We've got James Fremont defending against Matt Hale in the background there. Craig Brown's leading this pack in the battle over 16th place. You don't know where to look at the moment, mate. I know it's a bit of a cliche, but there are battles everywhere, and this is the final lap.
It is indeed. Josh Ladd is ever so close to another race victory at this championship, but there's so much more going on in this up and down the field side by side here, and that Sanders getting through. That is Sanders getting through for a crucial position. He's got him up onto the front row of the grid for race 3. If he can hold that spot and he can do something from there, but Josh Ladd is coming out of Rivatsa number 2 now, on his way. Michael J. Preston just behind there in P2. It's the usual 2 at the front, but they had to work very, very hard for this one. Josh Ladd takes victory in race number 2 at Imola tonight in the 2022 Club 100 and BUKC iRacing Championship. 2nd place for for Michael Preston. James Montgomery finishes in 3rd. Really good points. He does get his top 5. 4th for Charlie Summers. 5th in the end for Mike Hart. What has happened to Nathan Maximin on the last lap? Has he had a problem? Has he had a crash? Has he had an internet failure? Because that is something that is a problem for Nathan. And yeah, Steve Hicks has got 6th as well. Looks like Andrew Dawson has got P7 and C2 victory. Christopher Powell, good result there for Christopher Powell, getting 2nd place in C2, 8th overall. Sam Sanders 9th, Cameron Watson 10th, Ben Bennyworth 11th. Good drive as well for Matthew Whitefoot, 12th overall for Whitefoot, and 3rd in C2. I've got a feeling, mate, that that's one of his strongest, if not the strongest result for Matthew this season so far. Murray Adams finishes 13th, another good result for him in C2, ahead of Chris Hansen and Craig Brown. That was the top 15. Let's have a little further look down the order, and I'm just going to properly pull up the live timing just so I don't get this one completely wrong. I'm actually seeing now Nathan Maximin logged. Where am I seeing Nathan Maximin logged? I think he's had a problem on the last lap.
Yeah,
He's gone all the way down to 26th. Where were we? We were at Craig Brown in 15th, weren't we? Tom Dix 16th, David Whitehouse 17th, Kirith Kelly Ryan might be a bit disappointed there with 18th, 19th for Patrick Pishgate, and the session has now reset, so it's taking my timing screen away from me. But what a race! It keeps delivering this championship, doesn't it, mate?
Yeah, it really does. It really does. And there you are, mate. That's a confirmed result.
Hooray!
But no, brilliant. Another brilliant race. And gosh, we're only 2 races in. I'm running out of superlatives this evening, but I really am enjoying it. You said there was a point in that race, I think, where you highlighted it for me. By and large, these drivers are so confident on the brakes. They're judging things so well when they go for these moves. And it is just providing fantastic racing. And by and large, I think people are having a really fun time of it as well, to be honest.
Yeah.
Just taking a little look at some of the chat. You know, there's nothing about incidents or accidents. Yes, we did have the incident at the start of that one. We did have the caution laps, but no, by and large, I think this is a thoroughly entertaining evening for both competitor and spectator. So there we go.
We've got a 5-minute break now, just to give some of the slightly older drivers a chance to give the knees a rest, stretch out a bit, have a quick comfort break, and us as well as commentators. We're going to grab a quick drink and be back for race 3 in a few moments' time. Keep it locked here on DDMM. If you're enjoying the stream, give it a like, give it a share, all of that business. We'll be back very, very soon. Back here at Imola for coverage of round 5 of your 2022 Club 100 and BUKC iRacing Championship, and it's been an absolute banger of a night so far here at the Autodromo Dino and Enzo Ferrari, also known, or more commonly known I should say, as Imola. Andrew Mather and Howard Mitchell joining you on commentary for this evening's action. We've got a minute of the scheduled 5-minute warm-up / comfort break for us all before we get into race number 3. I'm going to ask you a potentially difficult question here, Howard. Have you got any words left in that dictionary and thesaurus of yours to describe the racing so far tonight?
I was worried you were going to ask me something like that. I don't think I've done fun. It's fun, okay? It's not I'm really enjoying watching these battles, and I think the thing is about these cars, I really did enjoy the Grand Prix at the weekend, but it's fair to say that by and large there is only one place to pass, and whilst that's definitely, whilst Tamburello is definitely the main place where people are passing this evening, it's not a foregone conclusion that that's the only place. And so we are seeing a bit more of a dogfight style to the battling tonight than that which you would have seen had you have tuned in to the GP weekend. And that's great. That's kind of exactly what we expect and what we want from our Mazda MX-5s. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. And we're going to shake it up again here with another bit of a reverse grid.
We are indeed. So this will be another 11-lap race. Cameron Watson will have pole position for it. Sam Sanders alongside on the front row. Christopher Powell and Andrew Dawson form up an all C2 row 2. Steve Hicks and Mike Hart on row 3. Charlie Summers and James Montgomery row 4. Michael Preston and Josh Ladd will do battle again from row 5. That's the end of the reverse element. Ben Bennyworth is there on row 6 alongside Matthew Whitefoot. And we find Murray Adams and Chris Hansen on row 7. Craig Brown and Tom Dix on row 8. David Whitehouse, who needs luck, he says in the chat, alongside Kirith Kalirai on row 9. James Fremont and Matt Hale complete the top 20. Aidan Bliss and Alan Curtis on row 11. Ian Sumner and Alex Mitchell start on row number 12. And we find Adrian Goodwin and Simon Cochis on row 13. Nathan Maximin and Andrew Golby on row 14. Patrick Pishke and Edward Keefley complete the 30 cars on the grid. We're ready to go once again here at Imola. Here come the lights for 11 laps of frenetic Mazda action here. And away we go for the last race of the night in the Club 100 and BUKC iRacing Championship. Everybody cutting across to drivers left straight away as they head down to the Tamburello chicane for the first time in this one. So far so good. A little bit of 3 wide in the middle of the pack, but Cameron Watson will be liking that start. Oh my goodness, is that a roll? I think someone has gone over. Is it Craig Brown? Has fully gone over. That's a spectacular accident
Charlie
there.
Summers. It's Charlie Summers,
It's Charlie Summers, sorry. Charlie Summers has rolled and is in the pit lane, but it's only one car involved in the incident. As round goes the leader, well, the former leader. Round goes Watson. Oh, he's in a really tricky spot there. He's pivoted it round brilliantly, but he's lost all of those positions. All the advantage of the reverse grid is gone in a moment.
Yeah, we've got several. In fact, we've got a lot of drivers in the pit lane here, Andrew, carrying some form of damage or were involved in that somehow. We've got Charlie Summers, of course, David Whitehouse, Alan Curtis, Simon Kochish we're looking at. So, goodness me, quite an eventful lap. Murray Adams as well. Oh, Murray Adams carrying damage as well. So, clearly there was a bit more to the story.
Yeah, a lot of damage there to Murray Adams' car. Going through the chicane now. Sam Sanders. Well, he had that battle to get up onto the front row, and Mike Hart's in trouble. Oh no, that's James Montgomery. Sorry, James Montgomery in trouble, and he's potentially missing a wheel. Looking from the sparks coming up there. That is not good news at all.
And safety car, Andrew. Safety car's been called.
Yeah, safety car has been called then. Will be saving grace. There are fast repairs in this series, so those drivers will be able to get back into the race and at the back of the field. So Sam Sanders will be registered as your leader. Yeah, a lot of cars, a lot more cars. I don't know whether there was another incident as they went round the exit of the Tamburello chicane. We didn't quite catch on camera, but the safety car is out for the second time here this evening at Imola.
Yeah, absolutely. Quite complex. I love the fact that this is all modelled in iRacing, the complex on the inside of the circuit. But it is quite a facility they have at Imola. So we'll go round.
Yeah, so the safety car out once again, and just to explain to those who are maybe new to this, the safety car will go round, it will get called in. Here come the cars that were involved in those incidents, repaired, now back out at circuit. They will join the back of the queue, and the safety car will do 2 laps of the circuit it's a thing we have to put up with. That the safety car driver, he doesn't just do one lap. He says, no, I have to cross the start-finish line, and therefore, well, after that point, then you can call me in, commentators. So that's what we'll have to do. But yeah, that was a really, really spectacular moment. Apologies, Matthew, we haven't quite got that facility working yet, but it is something that I'm looking at and looking to add in for future streams, because yeah, it would have been quite spectacular. We'll do a clip of it afterwards and put the commentary over it and do a bit of a post edit for that roll, because I think that's got to be one of the most spectacular moments of the season so far, Howard.
Yeah, we've not seen I don't think we've seen a roll. Oh, I'm going to be corrected on that. I'm sure we've seen a roll somewhere, but no, from quite high up as well. So yeah, it was definitely a dramatic one.
That was a proper one. That was like Nick Heidfeld. I can't quite remember the year, but I remember I want to say it was 2005 or 2006 at Indianapolis. Coming out
I
of the
thought
first chicane.
Okay. Yes, I think it was that year. Sorry, I thought you were thinking of the Sauber flipping at Monaco around about. Was that 2004?
2003, I wanted to go with that one. But
yeah, okay.
the kind of one where he's just got clipped, significantly clipped, just like a grazing blow, just like a good bit of liftage on the rear corner, and boop, over went.
Actually, I'm going to give... here's my obscure F1 thing that's reminded me of. Isn't that exactly where a very similar incident to that happened?
Oh, no, that was the next one. Yeah, that was at Villeneuve chicane.
Was it? Was it Eugene Day? Was it Christian Horner?
Yes, it was.
Sorry, folks, if you're we are plucking the F1 noughties references in here tonight. And why not? I mean, it's been great to see Imola back on the F1 calendar the last couple of seasons, hasn't it? But that was the last time that F1 was a mainstay on the calendar, was in the early and mid noughties.
Right, moment of truth, ladies and gentlemen. Is this going to work? Yes, it is. The safety car has put its lights out. My end button has worked properly on cue. Don't click that. Please don't click that. Oh, it's going to be clicked. Anyway, safety car will be in at the end of this lap, and your order at the moment, if we can get the timing tower on screen down. These are cars that are still recovering from there is Charlie Summers. Repair.
Yeah, on his wheel.
On his wheels. Which was better than he was doing a while back. The glory of fast repairs.
Alan Curtis coming round onto the back of the field. Just trying to work out what's happened for Karen Watts. Here he is. And Simon Kochish as well is trying to recover, I think. There's the main package just coming out of Tosa and heading up the hill towards Piratella.
So they should have enough time to catch back up onto the field and maybe actually have a little bit of an advantage in that they'll have warmer tyres, warmer brakes and everything that goes with that. Apologies, I think SDK is just having a little bit of a moment with the timing tower on your screen, but we can see the cars. There we go. Sam Sanders is your leader then, to confirm. Christopher Powell P2, Steve Hicks P3, Preston 4th, Ladd 5th, Mike Hart 6th.
It's going to be an interesting one, isn't it, Andrew? Because we were talking last race about how Sam Sanders needed to get into that good grid spot. He's done it, and now he's right where he needs to be. And it's going to be a question of, can he hold on to the lead of this one? The usual suspects will be trying to race up through the order.
And we saw with the last race, didn't we, mate, that 8 laps is more than enough laps to have a good motor race round this circuit. We're nearly ready to get things back underway. Porsche safety car driver in virtual iRacing form will head down towards the Rivazzas. They are just about, I think, going to catch up to the back of the field here, Howard. Yeah, there you can just see the back end of the field going down the hill. As we saw in race 2, safety car driver will pull to their right. In it goes. Sam Sanders will control the pace now to the start line, and it's all bunching up a little bit. He's waiting to drop the hammer, and now he goes, and we're back underway in race number 3, and he's caught the field napping there. That was a very good tactical restart from Sam Sanders. He's nailed that perfectly. He's got a gap. Steve Hicks is having a go at Christopher Powell as they head down to Tamburello.
Yeah, absolutely. Steve Hicks wants to go on the move here. He's been having a lot of good, solid results tonight, but he would like to finish this one with an even stronger result. Did deceptively low in the championship standings coming to tonight. That's only by way of the fact that he's had to miss a round or two. As Michael Preston trying to go for a move on Christopher Powell. And Preston is off, Powell is off as well as they go through the Villeneuve chicane. And that is not going to be the way that Powell, he's got hit as well was that Pischke has gone into the back of Preston there. Well, goodness me. Oh, and there's an incident ahead of them as well. Charlie Summers is round as well. Well, some of these drivers, Andrew, Ian Sumner is involved as well. Oh, this is going to be galling for some of these drivers, Andrew, because some of them, I don't know that there was much they could do whilst the other two were recovering on there. And some of these drivers had just got repaired in the pits, just caught up to the back of the train, only to be involved immediately in another incident.
Yeah, there's a lot of damage to the back of the 888 as well. Oh, there's a huge incident coming down the hill. Now this is past the safety car point, so there won't be a restart here. But this is chaos down at Acqua Minerale. Here at Imola, there is a number of cars out of the race. Andrew Colby is out of the race. Matthew Whitefoot is out of the race. What has triggered all of that we did not see. We'll have to look back at it post-race, but that has ruined a lot of people's races here, taken a lot of them out of contention. Chaos reigns here in the Mazdas.
Andrew Golby involved, James Montgomery, Matthew Whitefoot, Aidan Bliss, Adrian Goodwin and Andrew Dawson are all, they're either out on the spot or their race is run to all intents and purposes. Goodness me.
There's only safety cars on the first lap, so even though that was probably a more dramatic incident than the one that we saw on lap 1, as per the regulations, the race continues. Sam Sanders leads it at the front of the field. Steve Hicks is there in second place. Josh Ladd, Mike Hart's having a great race here. Howard there in P4. Needs something, I feel, to get his championship going. This could be just it. There's more contact behind. That's Murray Adams and Patrick Pischke going side by side through Tamburello, and Pischke's out.
Correct. Yeah, another one dropping down here. I have to say, through all of this chaos, Andrew, Charlie Summers, who was upside down on lap 1, has judged all of the chaos of that last lap. I mean, he got through the incident at Villeneuve, he got through Tota, and he got through Piratella going down to Acqua Minerale. He just got through all of them there, and he now finds himself up into 14th place.
Well, I don't think we've really seen an evening like this before in the CLUB100 and BUKC iRacing Championship. I don't think we've seen a race like this in the series in its 3rd season. There's Chris Hansen and Kirith Kali-Rai. I just wonder now, in the mindset of some of the drivers, will just be get to the end. Just get to the end of this race, because if you're still running with a clean car, you're going to get some good points from this race. And it's been a tight evening. I mean, we've seen the likes of Ladd and Preston be at the front throughout tonight in terms of the first 2 races, but further down the order, it's been a bit more mixed for everybody. This last race could really shake up the order for the round. 100 championship points is what you get for winning one of these rounds. As as Josh Ladd is now on the move once again down the inside, this time of Steve Hicks, as they run down to Tamburello. Ladd has got the move done. That is P2 for car number 42. Will now try and set about catching Sam Sanders. Hansen and Cali Rai having a little bit of a fight as they go into the Tamburello chicane.
Yeah, absolutely. Good driving from Cali Rai at the moment. Highest place of the Class 2 runners. Although James Fremont's keeping him honest at the moment. As further back, there's still battling going on. Charlie Summers has got by on Murray Adams, who now has Matt Hale for very close attention here as they head down towards the Villeneuve chicane. Behind them as well, Chris Powell and Cameron Watson do battle over 16th place. And in fact, Matt Hale has been off the boil there through Villeneuve. Chris Powell checks it behind, and that might give Cameron Watson an opportunity here as they run up the hill at Tosa.
Cameron Watson's car is more like an NA MX-5 that's got some bad rust damage and the front bumper's fallen off. It's not looking in factory spec at the moment, but the wheels seem to be pointing in the right direction. The toe and the tracking seems good, and he's actually got a little bit of pace there.
Yeah.
Look at the state of that. Well, I think we're generally lost for words in this race, mate. There's
that one lap where there was just about 3 major incidents around this circuit, and by and large, we seem to have just returned casually to really good close racing here as they go side by side here over 16th place, heading down towards Ravazza. Chris Powell's going to be on the inside, but Watson had the overspeed, so unless Powell's going to be very bold in the latter phase of braking, he's going to be passed by a man whose car is not MOT ready.
Cooling will be good. Cooling will be very good.
Cooling will be
if he's
amazing.
Still got a radiator, that is.
In all seriousness, I wonder how his top speed is down this straight.
I think if there's any post-race scrutineering on weight limits, they'll apply force majeure on that one. Anyway, back at the front of the field, it's happening again, ladies and gentlemen. We've got a brilliant race for the win at here at Imola, and Sam Sanders holding on. It's not been his night so far. It's not been his night at all. But the championship leader has a chance here to take a maximum haul of points in race 3. And surely that would give him still some very good points from the round for his championship. Looking a little bit further back, this is Charlie Summers trying to get past Alex Mitchell. Alex Mitchell has done well to get through all of the chaos so far, mate, because he's at the moment P12.
Yeah, very good point. Really good run this from both these drivers on screen right now, to be honest. As on the inside of Piratello is going to try Charlie Summers. He gets his car alongside. He's prized open the door. How bold is Mitchell going to be on the inside into the run into Acqua Minerale? It's a difficult one going into Acqua Minerale if you're side by side with someone, because you know you can be right on the limit of adhesion as you're going through that section as it is, let alone when you're side by side. But judged it well there, did both of the drivers, and the battle goes on for another corner, for another time.
4 laps to go after this one. Here's Nathan Maximin, who I will see if it's confirmed that he did have an internet dropout or what happened on race 2. He deserves a good result in this race, if you ask me. And just as I say that, oh my goodness me, that is another one. Add that to the collection of the 5 that we had in 20 minutes at Buckmore Park on Saturday night. That was the infamous now Andrew Mather commentator curse, absolutely harpooning Nathan Maximin's internet. I am very sorry, Nathan.
So your ping must have been good for the commentator's curse to ask that quickly, to be honest, mate.
That's why we've upgraded the internet. No, honestly. Anyway, what else is this race going to give us?
I know, as commentator, I'm not
I think that's the quickest one. I know I've had some pretty good ones in 2021, 22, but that was milliseconds.
as a commentator, I shouldn't say this, Andrew, but for once in this race, I have no idea what's going on with this race. None at all. Here's someone with no bumper going by on the Simply Catnip car into toast around the outside, as you do.
Oh, babe, what a move that is! What a move that is from Cameron Watson. Oh, dear.
Christopher Powell going down the inside on the top of the hill.
He's put Matt Hale into retirement with that move. That is outrageous. That can't be legal at all.
No, we should just say we do not have any solid evidence. For anyone who owns a Mazda MX-5 in the real world, we have no solid evidence.
I'm going to try this.
Removing your bumper will make you this much faster.
I'm going to try this. I need more cooling for my brakes anyway. My fronts really struggle in the NC. I'm going to take the front bumper off and see if it goes quicker. Josh Ladd is trying to get past Steve Hicks for second place in one of the most crackers races this championship has ever seen. And thank you to these three at the front, because at least they're having some level of sensibility out there. And I can't believe I've just said that.
Why
considering
have you said that?
What a curse the form the curse has been on this week so far. Sam Sanders continues to lead. We're on lap 9. There's back markers coming into play as well. I think one of them was the Greg's car of Adrian Goodwin.
Yes it is.
So this race is not over. Not by a long shot. Josh Ladd having a look down the inside. Steve Hicks being very fair, in fact a little bit too fair actually there. He's given a lane to Josh Ladd on the run up to Piratella now.
He's letting him go, I think.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to lose too much time.
It's what happens when you get crippled by a 4-year-old. You look at life completely differently. Just wants to survive. Get through another week. Here's a good scrap. Andrew Dawson up alongside the 119 there of Andrew Golby. This is unfortunately only over 20th place, because Andrew Dawson's driven very, very well tonight. Took a C2 win in the second race of the evening. And that was a good move there on Golby for that position. Disconnect confirmed for Nathan Maximin. I wouldn't put that one on your internet provider, Nathan. That was a welcome to the club that, well, after this weekend now has Super GT in it. Rota Shaw, with his 16 million subscribers or whatever number it is, it's a big number, but it's not a big enough number to fend off the curse. He's in it now, so you're in good company.
Battle for the lead, Andrew, coming on to a new lap. Sam Sanders has Josh Ladd alongside. Josh Ladd is ahead as they come in, and that's job done already for Josh Ladd, unless a counter-attack can be posed by Sanders, but he can't, and that is Josh Ladd to the head of the field. And that is the most normal thing that's happened this race.
I do think they're going to catch this traffic though. 2 laps to go, including the one that they're on through the Villeneuve chicane.
Steve Hicks, I think, has played this one nice and tactically, Andrew. He deliberately did not lose too much time in battling with Josh Ladd. Although one has to think he probably hoped that they were going to battle a bit more than that. But as you say, the traffic is up the road. There is still opportunity here. We're on the penultimate lap of the 3rd race of what has been a crazy round. I can't really think of how else to describe it. We've had entertaining battles. We've had cars upside down. We've had some, and we didn't really comment on it too much, but that was a highly unusual moment to see Michael Preston be involved in an incident.
Yeah.
Earlier on, you know, we've seen drivers doing it much the same as we saw in the Grand Prix, right? We've seen some very good drivers making some costly mistakes, and it's just been a really entertaining evening's racing.
It has indeed, and I've not even had a chance to mention that Sam Sanders will be very, very happy that it is the newer version of Imola, and not the one with the final chicane, so he doesn't have to recreate events from 1999. This is an interesting camera shot. That's what the front subframe of a Mazda MX-5 ND looks like.
This one's big though for the lead. Sam Sanders pulls alongside. He's going to try and return the favour here on Josh Ladd. And don't count out Steve Hicks coming on to the final lap now. The white flag has been shown, and it is a change of lead as we come on to that final lap, Andrew. Sam Sanders is back to the head of the field.
Josh Ladd will know the situation. He'll know that Michael Preston is out of this race. He'll be more focusing, I think, on Steve Hicks behind, because Hicks is on for a very good haul of championship points here tonight in northern Italy. They're still pushing hard. Josh Ladd, and what's been a great day for him. If you're just joining us, the news earlier on this evening that Josh Ladd has been signed to the Williams eSports team. So we'll see him in the same colours that you see Alex Albon in.
Just to point on the traffic ahead, Andrew, it's an earnest battle over 21st place between Andrew Golby, Matthew Whitefoot and Adrian Goodwin, so they're not going to be in a particularly compliant mood. You can see the three of them there, nose to tail. Yeah, this could be interesting if these three catch up on these coming out of Variante Alta or down towards Ravazza. This could be an interesting end here. It
could be an interesting end indeed. They're running towards the chicane now. There's cars everywhere in front of them. This is big pressure for Sam Sanders. He's not had the kind of night that he would have wanted. Big hop over the curbs there from Josh Ladd. They're going to run. It's a good exit though for Sam Sanders. He'll pick up a little bit of a toe as well, but it's going to be tricky in the braking zone. The drivers ahead may brake a little bit earlier. How's your nerves? Sam Sanders, Matthew Whitefoot very wisely pulls to one side of the circuit, lets the leaders go. It's going to be out of the final corner. Can Sam Sanders hold on? He's got to get on the pedal as soon as possible. He's done it. He's going to get out of the final couple of corners, take the win in the race. Josh Ladd will take the round surely and be on the top step again in the Club 100 and BUKC iRacing Championship. 3 over the line there. Sam Sanders takes race number 3. Josh Ladd takes second place and the round. Third for Steve Hicks. Good points there for Mike Hart. A bit of a lonely fourth place at the end. Chris Hansen is 5th. Ben Bennyworth is 6th. Kirith Kalirai takes a C2 win in race 3 there in 7th place. Michael J. Preston somehow gets 8th. Somehow gets 8th in all of that. I have no idea how he's done that, but it'll be good points. That might be enough for Preston to be in the top 3 for this round. James Fremont's had a good night. Another top 10 for him. 2nd in C2 there with 9th overall. 10th for Charlie Summers. Charlie Summers on his roof on lap 1 gets a top 10. Yep, that's how that went down, ladies and gentlemen, as the chaos ensues. This always happens for those of you who are new to this championship. They always do this after the checkered flag. Looking further down the order, Alan Curtis. Alan Curtis gets home with a clean car there in 18th place. Ian Sumner's going to be 19th. Andrew Dawson 20th. We'll confirm the full result when it comes through. Before we do get that race result, if you've enjoyed the stream, if you've enjoyed the coverage, and you haven't already, do please click that subscribe button. I'm just going to press that button whilst we'll play around a couple of things at our end. The race is still actually going on, by the way. Adrian Goodwin's trying to get home. I don't know what to say, mate. I don't know what to say after that one.
Adrian Goodwin is going to got onto doing the lead lap, by the way, by finishing about a quarter of a car length ahead of Sam Sanders across the line. So I think he might have been slightly nervous that people were going to start their classic post-finish line antics.
But he's still racing.
Wanted to run away. But there we go. Across the line for the Greg's Livery car of Adrian Goodwin. Oh, I'm done.
give us some results. Give us some results, sir. From the system of possibly the maddest race that we've ever commentated on in this championship. Sam Sanders is your winner by less than 0.2 of a second ahead of Josh Ladd. Steve Hicks makes it the top 3, covered by less than 1 second. Mike Hart's 4th, Chris Hansen 5th, Ben Bennyworth in 6th. That was fun, says Kirith Kalirai in the chat. Well, he got a C2 win, and that's something to shout about. 7th place there for Kirith. 8th place for Michael Preston, as we say. Don't ask us how, but there he was. 9th place for James Fremont, 2nd in C2 in that particular race. 10th for Charlie Summers. Yeah, that really is just... who would have expected that after turn 2 and turn 3? Alex Mitchell in 11th. Murray Adams in 12th. A very good night for Murray Adams in C2. That's some strong results for him. Christopher Powell in 13th in that one, in the top 5 in C2 again. Tom Dix, a quiet night for him, finishes 14th in the Jaeger train. 15th for Cameron Watson, missing bumper and all. I am going to try that, I think, with the 3rd gen I've got outside. 16th place for Matt Hale, ahead of David Whitehouse in 17th. Alan Curtis finished in 18th. We're well into the list of drivers that had big problems in that race. As I say, Ian Sumner in 19th, Andrew Dawson in 20th, Adrian Goodwin just kept it there on the lead lap, finishes in 21st. Andrew Golby 22nd, Matthew Whitefoot 23rd. James Montgomery, do give what you can in the chat in the Just Giving page that we put at the top of the stream. Nathan Maximin with, oh my goodness, one of the biggest Mather commentator curses in history, and that's saying something.
That
Unfortunately,
really
finishes in 25th place due to a disconnect. Patrick Piskay in 26th, Craig Brown in 27th, Aidan Bliss. We won't show what the front of Aidan's car looked like, but I think it is very apt for the race that he suffered there in 28th. Simon Kochkis in 29th, and Ed Keefley 30th. What a crazy race on a crazy evening. Just sum it up for me, Howard, if you can.
Well, just one final thought as we've got the results up there. You know how we hypothesised that Cameron Watson's damage might have compromised his straight line speed?
Yes.
We want to just check the gap in the battle for 13th at the top of that results page.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Goodness me. You just asked me to summarise the evening. I'm not sure I can. Do you know what? Even though we're in the Mazdas, it felt quite touring car-ish, because what we had was brilliant racing during races 1 and 2, and then just craziness and mayhem during race 3. But even in that, we had some fantastic battles. I have been very. I know we've seen the two cautions. Caution periods tonight, although I have to say the one in the 3rd race was a very unusual one. It was sort of cumulatively we got to a safety car, I feel, or we missed one of the incidents there. So by and large, I've been really impressed by the standard of driving. You can tell how confident the drivers feel in these Mazda MX-5s, and it's provided some brilliant. You'd look at this if I'm being critical, Andrew. You would look at this fixture on the calendar. Season 3 of this championship, and this is the format that we used for the entirety of the inaugural championship back in 2020. And you might look at this one on the bill and go, "Oh, back with the Mazdas again." Not a chance that this was going to be a dull one, and it has absolutely delivered some fantastic racing action, really good driving, of course, from Josh Ladd. Has been very strong. Kirith Kalirai, a strong evening for him. Murray Adams as well, you mentioned. I've jumped straight onto Class 2 drivers there because to address some Class 1 ones. Steve Hicks, good drive. Sam Sanders with that with a good result in that final race, but was arguably, by his high standards, his lofty standards, a bit so-so in the first couple of races. Charlie Summers, I think we've seen some great racing from him this evening to recover back to 10th place when to recover back to that there was to 10th place, wasn't it? When you were on your roof on lap 1, that was quite something. So it's been a really and James Montgomery as well, not such a great 3rd race, but really strong driving, good racing in that 2nd race in particular from him. Just some really good drives throughout the field, and as I say, to the untrained eye, this might look like a return to you know, something that we've done many times before, but there's a reason why we keep coming back to the Mazda MX-5s, Andrew, even in a season where we've got as varied and diverse a list of racing formats and cars such as this. It's because it provides us with an evening like we've had tonight, and yeah, I've thoroughly enjoyed it.
Very good. Upcoming stuff for you to be aware of following us here on DDMMM, and I'm in full agreement with Kirith Kart. If you're watching already and you've not clicked that like button, do it now. This weekend, I'll be at Glannygores for a bit of a bumper Glannygores list and week of events. But Super One are at Glannygores this weekend, so. Ourselves and Alpha Life will be there. We'll be streaming all of the racing on Sunday. There'll be a bit of content coming out on the Super One Series Facebook page on the Saturday. So make sure that you're at least aware of that. Put it in your diaries and tune in for us there on Sunday. Now this has got a very big asterisk on it because it's all depending on Airbnb Welsh internet. But next Tuesday we should have the second race evening of the new revamped Club 100 Gran Turismo League. So the second race meeting on Gran Turismo 7. So that's next Tuesday at 9 p.m. The weekend after that, we're at GYG again. In fact, we won't have even come back to HQ, as we'll be there for the full weekend of Club 100, visiting the Snowdonia circuit. We will have the stream of the sprints racing on the Sunday. So for all of the people asking, yes, sprints is streamed at GYG. So if there's any last minute spots, get in there now to get on the Alpha live stream. And looking a little bit further down the list, to say we've got more GT7 rounds running every 2 weeks on Tuesday nights. We've got our first as well, before we get to the next one of these iRacing nights, we've got our first stream of the first ever round, a historic moment for Club 100. The first ever Club 100 Cadets Championship round is at Buckmore Park on the 21st of May. We will be streaming it. The juniors are there as well. It will be their second round, but really looking forward to that. Yourself, mate, you won't be joining me for that one for reasons I think we're all aware of. But John Ratcliffe will be standing in on that one, and then we'll wrap it up into this rundown of what's coming up in DDMM World with the next round of this championship. It won't be a live one because it's ovals and extra race control things are required, but there will be. We'll do the same as we did for round number 2. We'll do a post edit. We'll do an as live stream, so you'll still get the full experience. And as I say, it will be round 6 round the Indianapolis Motor Speedway in the IndyCars, and is all the stuff to look forward to on DDMM over the next few weeks that we've got locked in the calendar. There'll be more as well. There'll be a few GT7 streams and the occasional maybe iRacing stream as we come to the end of this iRacing season in the full game. Lots to look forward to there, Howard. I think he's dropped off. Oh no.
No, I haven't. Sorry,
see, you're going to do that, and every time I'm going to think, is this it? Is it happening?
No. I better not for a little. I've got at least another week and a half of not having those kind of moments. I think.
You think? Oh.
Yes, as we await the arrival of a bit of a new addition to the family here at DDMM Outpost Rugby, which is the reason why I'm unfortunately not there at that inaugural running, as you say, of the Club 100 Cadets. Yeah, I'm gutted I can't be there because it's fantastic to see that addition to the Club 100 portfolio of championships that they're running. Obviously, with that new cadet chassis. That is going to be absolutely fantastic to see, which I say in the abstract because I can't see it live, but I can see it on Alpha Live. So that is going to be fantastic. And yeah, before that, as you say, bit of a GYG.
A GYG fest.
A GYG fest indeed. Well, it might be because that's quite a driver's favourite, isn't it? GYG, and it's been just through complete well, I'm going to jinx it now, aren't I? through complete coincidence, it's been a surprisingly long time since I've been to GYG. So I'm glad that I'm going to be going there, which of course, I can't think of anything that could torpedo that idea. Yes, no. All of that pending. No, very much looking forward to GYG. Will be fantastic to go there. Beautiful part of the country, beautiful part of Wales, up towards. I think it is just inside of Conwy County. So be good to be up there. Round about the Betsy Coed area, so that'll be great. And yeah, it really is a good set of events that are coming our way. So definitely stay tuned with us here on Double Dash Motorsport Media. Give us a subscribe, or even hit a notification bell. Then you don't have to worry at all. It'll just be notified that it's happening, and you can sit back and enjoy.
Result time here. I'm going to give you the top 20 for this evening. I should remind you all that these are provisional results, pre any formal protests. Sometimes have happened this season. I'll leave it there. 20th place, Patrick Pishgate tonight on 241. Craig Brown 19th, beating him in the tiebreaker. Matt Hale 18th. Matthew Whitefoot 17th. Cameron Watson 16th. And then into the top 15 where we find Andrew Dawson 1 point behind Kirith Kalirai, who is 1 place in tonight's standings outside of a top 3 in C2. The reinstall and the lack of qualifying may be costing Kalirai there, because on the podium in C2 it looked a little bit like this. James Fremont with 259 points out of a possible 300 gets a very, very well-deserved C2 podium here tonight at Imola. Tom Dix was next up in 12th, then Mike Hart in 11th. Into the top 10 now, and we find our second place driver in C2 tonight. And this was very, very close. This was on a tiebreaker. Murray Adams is second in C2 tonight. As I say, pipped, virtue of an 8th place in race 2 by Christopher Powell. Both of them got 264 points. Christopher Powell takes the C2 victory, virtue of countback, and 9th place overall. Into the top 8 then, all C1 runners. James Montgomery, do give what you can to his Just Giving page for his racing awareness for the Little Princess Trust, but he finished there in 8th place tonight, 265 points. Another, I'm going to say this now because we don't talk about him enough during the races, because he's almost like becoming the Nottingham, the University of Nottingham of this iRacing Championship. Mr. Consistency, Ben Bennyworth takes 7th place tonight on 271 points with a very, very nicely put together set of races. Not in any of the contacts, not in any of the incidents, and well deserved there for Ben. 6th place was Chris Hansen on 274. Into the top 5 now we find Charlie Summers there in 5th. We've had a question as well from Coggles of, did he finish 4th again? Yes, he did! Steve Hicks there in 4th place on 286 points. Just outside of the podium, mainly because of that win for Sam Sanders in race 3. So Sam Sanders takes 3rd. Really good comeback drive and good points for his championship as well. So he finishes on 288 points. Michael J. Preston does take 2nd place for tonight's round, even though we had the chaos in race 3. He finished on 290 points out of a possible 300. But your winner, clear winner here tonight at Imola for round 5 of the 2022 Club 100 and BUKC iRacing Championship. It is, of course, Josh Ladd, who scores 296 points out of a possible 300 within the round. 100 points for his championship bid. A very, very good night for the new Williams esports driver.
Absolutely, mate. Really good way for him to celebrate that really good news, and with an impressive... Now, I'm not challenging anyone to go through the stats and analyse this much, but I think he might be the first person to win a round with a round score that is identical to his championship score coming into the next racing.
Oh, good stats. Like
Well, it's either a good stat or an overly pedantic stat, but I only realised because I'm doing a double take looking at the two points tables, but yeah, so that takes him up to, but he'll get the 100, the way that the championship scores work for people who are unfamiliar. whilst he's won the round with 296 points across the races, he will take 100 championship points for that round win. So the scoring will run slightly differently to that, which keeps it nice and close for us in the championship. But yeah, brilliant, nice racing for Josh Ladd. Yeah, definitely. Well, we know he's one to watch, right? As we go forward in the championship. But yeah, on to the next round with this. It's going to be great.
And that round will be on the week of the 23rd of May. We're going to wrap things up here, everybody. Thank you very much for tuning in tonight. If you've enjoyed and not done so already, do click all those YouTube buttons, the sub button, the like button, the share button, the notification bell. Click them all now. We will be back within the next week for some GT7 content on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram as well, at Double Dash MM. We will definitely have some stuff on there over the weekend whilst we're at GYG for Super 1. And as I say, Sunday on the Alpha Live channel, live commentary of all the racing action from round 4 of this year's Super 1 series. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you once again for all the support over the last few days, in particular from the Bookmore Park 24 Hours. If it's been your first stream with us fully since Bookmore, I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope you'll join us once again for more action here on the DDMM YouTube channel. Bye bye, have a good night.